Mm. What's the word? It's your Uncle EJ, always your mother's brother and your grandmother's good looking son, and your grandmother is good looking son. What's the word? Man, ain't been in here so long. Oh, it's like a new place. It's like a new, well, I mean, it is a new place, you know what I'm saying? What's good with y'all, man? How y'all been? Wadeberg Slim in the building, Dave in the building. Who else up in here, man? Y'all share the broadcast, please. Y'all know we ain't rocked in a minute, so they might not know what's good with your boy. Let's see. Who else is up in here? Oh, V Conley, what's good with you, man? Long time no here. Man, been supporting me a long time. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. My number one supporter. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that. Dave, what's good with you, man? What's good with you? Oh, we finna talk. I'm gonna get a couple more people on there, maybe like five. You know what I mean? I'm not like waving blades where I got like 25 people. You know what I'm talking about in my chat no more. Oh shit. But bro, y'all been checking this shit out? Y'all been checking it out? You know I have. I've been sitting back like, are they gonna get this right? What narrative is gonna be pushed? What's good with you, mailman? What narrative is gonna be pushed? Is somebody gonna tell? Because you know it's two sides to every story, and then you know there's a story that's somewhere in the middle. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. So I'm watching Norb's side, I'm watching URL side, I'm watching what's being said, and I'm watching how bloggers are taking one piece of information and going off and making their own speculation from it. And like I said, the truth is somewhere in the middle. You know what I mean? Is there a settlement? No, there isn't a settlement. You know what I mean? Um, but is there a settlement? No. But is there necessarily not a settlement? Is there not a monetary value already put out? Because I know in URL statements they said nothing about a number. They said nothing about a number. What's good? What you say, Mill? Hey man, according to others, I only got two people watching, so you're still doing better than me. Oh, well, you know, hey Dave, you know what I'm saying? We've been doing it a long time, bro. And every once in a while, I might say something that might help somebody understand what's going on in the BRC. Because you know, sometimes we just jump to a conclusion as soon as we hear one piece of information, not having it all. And the thing I can say about the Norbs versus URL case and the URL case versus Norbs. Y'all remember that? The URL case versus Norbs, where they were suing him for. Anyway, I digress. I digress. You know what I'm saying? And I did have like some of the same information on another case that's ongoing, and that would be the RBE versus URL case. And I've sat and watched and seen how they all interconnect because I have access. Like, I don't think if there are 10 people on the planet that are as well versed in this case, you know what I'm saying? One being Pryor Cashman, the other being Creech and Jackson and Boyles, the people that are working their side of the case, the other probably being Judge Oster, the court reporter, you know, talking about Norbs and the parties, the plaintiffs and the defendants is me. Why? Because I get everything updated as soon as it updates. Like the rebuttal game was crazy. Like y'all was just running with this news and this narrative of, I think it was $15 million that was put out, saying that there was a settlement that was being put out. And to be honest, like I said, the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Let's get to it. So, because I remember URL, they said that there was no monetary amount. They basically don't know what they're talking about. There's no settlement, and it's kind of right, but it's also kind of wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's also kind of wrong. They also mentioned something about first round win and a second round knockout. You know what I mean? And I know that's kind of a little cannabis reference, and that's all cool. You know, it's battle rap. It's a couple of battle rap references in these court documents. That's all cool. But it's not a knockout if the fight ain't over, right? It's not a knockout if the fight ain't over. And if you've been paying attention to about the 3 or 4 times that I blogged about it with the information that I've had, even though Norbs lost the appeal, the discovery is a broad discovery, which means that if anything gets brought up in the discovery, that leads to partnership or leads to them misleading Norbs about information or what have you, the partnership comes back into play, right? So even though they won the appeal on the partnership, that doesn't necessarily mean that's over either. And then if you also paid attention, I told you one of the 6 causes of action that are left is the unjust enrichment. And the unjust enrichment is the thing that will get the biggest financial number for Norbs if he would happen to win this case, or even if he settles. And because the unjust enrichment basically is a term in law that means that you got rich off of my labor and efforts, right? When I talked about this case, I talked about Judge Barry Ostringer, however you say his name, Barrio is what I'm calling him, had been the judge that presided over the Blue Man Group case. And in that case, you had someone that worked for the Blue Man Group with a contract and got paid, but he was responsible for orchestrating all of the events, making the instruments, and coordinate a lot of things. Once they got big, they basically kicked him to the curb and took the Las Vegas, what do they call it, residency, where you're in Vegas and you perform every weekend or whatever, and Broadway and everything that they was touring, and it basically cut him out. Well, this same judge ruled in his favor. Well, excuse me, was going to rule in his favor, and there was a settlement. Hold on, let me see. There was a settlement in that case for a telephone number, as the judge said, right? A telephone number. Y'all can add not 10 digits, 7 digits, old school numbers. You know what I'm saying? The old school before you had to put the area codes. You know what I'm saying? So in that case, that man had money that was paid to him by a company, right? The Blue Man Group. And even though he was paid by that company, the judge said that the Blue Man Group got rich off of all of his efforts and awarded that man, or basically that case went to a settlement where they had to pay that man a telephone number, right? Do the math if you want, 7 figures, right? Okay, this same judge is the same one that's presiding over this case, right? In this case, this man is ready to retire. He's been working so long, he's ready to retire. But at the beginning of this case, if you paid attention to my earlier blogs, he told them before the pandemic, I believe it was around December in one of those conferences, that you guys need to go ahead and go to mediation and settle this. Because either way, it's not going to come out in the wash that either one of you want. That each of you are going to end up giving up some things if this goes all the way to a jury trial, right? Okay, so this is probably the third time that the court has suggested mediation in this trial. Maybe twice, but definitely at the first of it, right? And definitely once a note of issue is given in court. And what a notice of issue is basically a document that readies the court for a jury trial, right? At this point in this trial, even though those 9 causes of action, 8 or 9, I can't remember exactly how many it was, that got dismissed and then got also, the motion got dismissed also, excuse me, the motion got granted also in the Court of Appeals. The main case is still going on. The other 6 causes or 5 causes of action are still going on. And those are the 5 causes of action that can get Norbs paid, along with if he would have gotten the partnership that everybody talks about. But I remember at the beginning of this case, motherfuckers was talking about Norbs didn't have a case at all. They was talking about Norbs wasn't going to get 1 red cent out of URL. They were talking about there was no way that Norbs was yada, 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 yada. Man, I talked to Norbs the other day. Norbs said, man, on the day the rumor came out about the $15 million, right? I'll tell you where that comes from. About the $15 million. On the day that rumor came out, Norbs got a whole bunch of phone calls from motherfuckers like, hey, my guy, it's been a while. I ain't talked to you, old ex-girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? Norbs said he has some ex-girlfriends, I believe. I mean, yeah, he had anyway, ex-girlfriends or whatever. And all of them trying to feel him out, seeing what's going on with him. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't heard the news. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? What's the word? Okay, so let's get into it a little bit so I can explain what's going on better than they explained it, because they're going to explain it from their side. Like URL, I guess they don't want to look a certain way, right? But the fact that this case by Norbs, who has 2 of the top 50 black lawyers in the United States, they're not the D League, Vada. 2 of the top 50 black lawyers in the United States, Vada. They're not the D League, sir. Maybe they might be the Euro League, but they're not the damn D League. They already rebutted what URL put out, what they call was a rumor or narrative that was being circulated by certain battle rap community bloggers and media. Right? Okay, but let's get into the starter, because I started a blog about this the other day when the first rumor dropped. They was talking about 15 million. They were saying it was settlement. And I was saying, hey, y'all chill out. Go sit down. They were saying it was a settlement. I was saying them in certain tweets. I was going under certain tweets. Shout out to whoever I went under. Anyway, what I wing. That it's not a mandatory settlement, it's a mandatory conference about a settlement, right? Whenever there's a note of issue, which means whenever there's a note to the court saying, hey, that there's going to be a jury trial, before they do that jury trial, they say, hey, let's get these parties together. Maybe we can say the government some money and plead out some of these causes of action for a summary judgment, right? Or get a settlement in the case. Here's something that everybody else is failing to understand that I understand quite well. URL can't settle with nobody. Norbs has to settle. Norbs has to say, I'll take that number. That's what has to happen. Or the causes of action have to be pleaded out, and excuse me, they have to be judged by the judge in summary judgment. And that has to be something that is agreeable to both parties. And if it is, then they take the summary judgment on whatever that cause of action. Even though they take, say, if it's 5 causes of action, they take 3 of them and do summary judgment. The other two causes of action still go to jury trial. Anyway, let's go. Let me see where we at. So let's go. So this first joint was a status conference that was on September 27th. On September 27th, 2023, the court held a status conference via microphone teams, yada, yada, yada. A note of issue was filed in this case on August 11th, 2023. Hold on. I got to put on my smart glasses. Hold on. Oh, I got to change the background too, because I got to look real smart right here. Hold on. Okay. So a note of issue a note of issue was filed on this case on August 11, 2023. During the conference, the parties indicated that the defendants, URL, intend to file a dispositive motion within 60 days of the filing of the August 14th, 2023 filing of the note of issue. And what a dispositive motion is basically URL is going to ask the judge for a summary judgment on one or more of the causes of action that are still pending for the trial. Right. Okay. The amended rule 30 of section 202.70G of the rules of practice for the commercial division requires the parties to participate in a mandatory settlement conference. The parties are directed to meet and confer regarding the mandatory settlement conference and promptly e-file a letter updating the court as to whether the parties will proceed with a private mediator or if the parties would like to avail themselves to the court's ADR program, which is basically court-appointed mediation, as opposed to spending your own money, right? Okay, so that's the first thing that happened in the conference, and this gets put out in the court documents or whatever. And a follow-up status conference is scheduled for November 8th, 2023, right? Okay, so let's see what else I have for you guys here. Okay, so since there is a note of issue and since there is a status conference, right, that says that the parties will decide to at least meet in the mandatory conference, there has to be what they call, let me get the term right, the note of issue, right? What the note of issue is basically a document that prepares the court for a jury trial. And in that document, the plaintiff has to say what amount of money or whatever he will settle out of court for. Y'all remember a number being mentioned? Okay, now this is in the court documents too. This is the second document that came after the document about the conference on September 27th. So if URL knows, of course, they work. I mean, it's they case if they know about the first document. Of course, they know about this document. Let's see. Okay, so this is the note of issue. Dagoberto Velez, Street Star Norbs versus URL. Date summons served August 27, 2020. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. It's damn near 3 years. It's damn near 3 years, right? Okay, right here, amount demanded, other relief, right? The amount demanded or the other relief right here is that wonderful number, $15 million that y'all been hearing about. Hold up. Stop it. Anyway, the $15 million, that's the number where Norbes'S lawyers is saying, hey, we will settle out of court for this amount right here. Okay, so as we know, URL came out and they said that, there were a bunch of rumors and they put up, of course, excuse me, this document here, um, which was basically the transcript of the conference itself. I'm not going to take my time reading it, but it just basically says what I said, that there's a note of issue. It says that they're going to, um, right here, I do believe due to complexity of this case and how heavy the facts are, especially when the parties' relationship has been expands over 10-year period, I believe a private mediator would probably allocate more time instead of allocating the court's resources and time to get into the facts and to the over the 10-year period relationship between the parties. A private mediator seems to be the most efficient way to resolve this case. Right. So basically, they agree that they're going to try to get a private mediator. Um, Norbes'S lawyers reach out to URL's attorneys to try to set up who they would like to mediate with. And these private mediators are some powerful people as far as they've got 40 and 50 years in law and mediation. So they get together with powerful corporations and mediate a settlement between them. That's why these mandatory conferences take place, just in case you can meet with them. And instead of the government spending their money, these private mediators can make some money off of you two that are arguing over what have you, what have you, or where have you. You know what I'm saying? And you had to spend a little bit more money. So what happened, right? URL came out and said there's no settlement because technically there isn't a settlement, right? There's just a mandatory conference about a settlement, which basically means it's like marriage counseling, you know what I mean? Or before you get married, or in some states before you get divorced, you have to have counseling one more time. Hey, let's get together, see how we can settle our differences so we don't have to go through all this other rigmarole, right? And so you would think, just in my personal opinion, you would think that that would serve URL's interests, because in that point, you would think they wouldn't want to open certain records or whatever to the competition, or records about what they pay battle rappers, or records about what they receive from caffeine or what have you, to become public knowledge, where people like me and other bloggers can have access to it because it's public knowledge. Lala Papa, what's good with you, bro? So what happened on, what is this? October 10th. On October 10th. Okay, so let me get this other document first, because let me reference it. All right. Let's see. All right. The URL's response to the false media claims, right? Many in the battle rap community are cleanly aware of the Ultimate Rap League's legal dispute with former talent scout. They petty. I like it, but they petty. Uh, this case, which URL did not initiate, of course, because they're the defendants, has been going on for more than 3 years. Not quite 3 years. As URL, I mean, if you want to, I think the first, I actually think the first serving of the paperwork started like early in 2020, though, like around July or April or May or something like that. Anyway, the URL insists upon fighting for the truth. Fighting for the truth and letting the truth be exposed might be a little bit slightly different thing. But anyway, the trial court already ruled that this talent scout was not a partner of URL, a round one victory for URL. URL also won round two by knockout, as the appellate court also ruled that the talent scout was not a partner of URL and not entitled to be treated as a partner. Now, false rumors are being spread that URL was instructed by the court to settle. This statement is demonstrably false. It's not demonstrably false. The court has been telling y'all to settle since the very beginning, and they've been telling both parties to settle since the very beginning. I don't feel like going to get the goddamn document, because there are 4 pages of fucking documents on it right now. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like document number fucking 6. Anyway, and then you have this recent thing. I got you, Rain. Let me handle up. Let's see. Now false rumors are being spread that URL was instructed by the court to settle. And they weren't. They were instructed to come to a party about settlement, but it's mandatory. Mandatory, right? Okay. The statement is demonstrably false. Instead, all parties were directed to participate in a settlement conference. This is unremarkable requirement. This is an unremarkable requirement for every case. That's true. This happens at every case. Given the blatantly false reports that have been ostensibly been leaked, how they've been leaked is public record, URL feels compelled to clarify what actually occurred by sharing the public transcript of the recent court hearing. Petty. As revealed by the transcript, there was not a single word regarding money, not one. No, there was not a word about money in the transcript, but there was a word about money on the motherfucking note of issue. $15 million. URL. URL Norbs. Norbs URL. How can we solve this? Norbs, $15 million. URL. Fuck you. We going to try. That's what I think. I don't know, but I'm just saying the numbers right there. Ain't nobody lying on y'all. They misinterpreted the truth. Ain't y'all trying to get the truth out? But they misinterpreted the truth. No, y'all fighting for the truth. So I'm trying to fight for the truth too. I'm trying to fight for the unadulterated truth about what the hell is going on here. Okay, so let me see. When was this dated right here? Hold on. Major, chill, bro. My fault. My dog is overzealous. Anyway, let's see when this letter was. When did this come out? Did they date it? Anyway, it's been out a couple of days, right? Well, today, today, Jackson Legal Services already has an e-filing, right? Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Let's talk. I mean, like, I don't understand sometimes what the URL's lawyers are doing in certain cases because there's no need at all to address battle rap media about what's going on in this case at all. But y'all been quiet about it all this time. Why would you address it now? It don't matter in the court of law. Nothing, none of that matters. So why is it getting under your skin? The perception that you might be losing, the perception that you might have to pay. That's crazy because y'all made that statement on letterhead and you made it after telling the court that you were willing to meet to mediate. Okay, so like I said, the title says Norbes'S lawyer's rebuttal game is crazy. Shout out to A Ward. Let's see what it says. As the court is aware, this is Justice Ostriger. As the court is aware, the parties last appeared before your honor on September 27, 2023 for a status conference, the one I showed you. As part of the conference, the parties indicated that they would explore the possibility of using a private mediator to meet the requirements of a mandatory settlement conference pursuant to Rule 30 of Section 202.70G of the Rules of Practice for the Commercial Division. At that conference, your honor graciously provided 3 names of prospective private mediators for the parties to consider. So on to October 3rd, Tuesday, 2023, counsel for plaintiffs forwarded me the name of one of the court's suggested mediators to counsel for defendants. This was done since the parties were ordered to, quote unquote, promptly e-file a letter updating the court as to whether the parties will agree with a private mediator or if the parties would like to avail themselves of the court's ADR program. See status conference, yada, yada, yada. Counsel for defendants responded to counsel for plaintiff on Friday, October 6th, 3 days later, asking for a few additional days to consider our selection. Since then, counsel for plaintiff became aware of a public statement purportedly made by defendants and apparently published on the letterhead of their counsel of record, Prior Cashman Limited Liability Partnership. It is our understanding that this public statement appeared on defendant on defendant Ultimate Rap League's social media accounts, i.e. Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, as early as Monday, October 9th. That was yesterday. Damn. Legally, that was yesterday. Legally, that's like, it was waiting for you to do something like this. Anyway, they indicated that they needed to additional time to consider the private mediator selected by the plaintiffs. While the principal target of defendants' public statement appears to be some individuals in the battle rap media community, many of whom have covered this case in some capacity since its commencement. But I don't talk about everything. It's, shout out to DNA Tooth. He do his thing and, he puts his spin on things. But a lot of times I be doing other stuff. I'll be doing other stuff, bro. I ain't even gonna front. Shout out to Wing and the whole intake. October 14th, October 15th. Y'all make sure y'all go get y'all tickets, rapgrid.com. 2 days, $20, about 473 battles. You know what I'm saying? You got the bricks on there, you know what I mean? Caution versus Cav, Will Major versus Peaches. It's some shit going down. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. While the principal target of defendant's statement is battery our community, whatever, the balance of statement alludes to defendant's position on a potential resolution of this lawsuit. Furthermore, given the content and timing of this public statement, that is, while the parties were considering how to proceed with mediation, plaintiff has concerns about defendant's intent to negotiate in good faith for settlement purposes. Moreover, plaintiff is concerned about potentially wasting resources on private mediators. On October 10th, 2023, at approximately 12:05 Eastern Time, counsels for defendants responded to counsel email indicating they are amenable to the private mediator selected by plaintiff. However, to get some clarification on defendant's position, at approximately 2:15, counsel for the plaintiff sent an email to counsel for defendants to confirm whether prior Cashman authored or approved the public statement. Excuse me. Defendant's counsel responded via email by admitting that prior Cashman was aware of the factually accurate statement, which discloses only matters of public record. Nonetheless, plaintiff remains open to engaging in good faith settlement discussions to resolve a rather contentious matter that has been pending for more than 3 years. Not quite 3 years, but I guess it is more than 3 years. Plaintiff would prefer to utilize the court's ADR program to avoid wasting resources on mediation where defendants have publicly expressed a lack of desire to engage meaningfully. Well, god damn it. Who who knew you could get in trouble? I didn't even know you could get in trouble for that. Are they in trouble? I don't even know if they're in trouble, but it looks kind of funny, right? It looks kind of funny for the judge be saying, hey, I need y'all to get together in good faith and try to come up with a settlement. And if not, we'll go to trial, or I'll rule on certain of these causes of action that you bring for me, yay or nay. But if I'm telling you to go in there and meet, I'm telling you to go meet in good faith, so maybe y'all can get something worked out. If you're saying that you're going into it already with nothing worked out, it seems like a little issue. Like the judge might feel a type of way. I'm not the judge, but he might feel a way. He might feel a type of way. The man been trying to take retirement for almost 2 years now, and this is the only goddamn case that he got working. And he's fucking with URL and Norbs. He got better stuff to do, man. Y'all let that man go in retirement. Y'all get this thing worked out. Y'all get it worked out. Like I said, I got it all, dog. I got it all, dog. All the way from the look at that 9-10. So I guess it is longer than 3 years. Now all the way back, dog. So I'm saying I've been paying attention to this from the very beginning. I've been telling y'all, if URL is going to be stubborn about this, they could get into a position where they could lose the whole company based on the rules of business in the state of New York. I showed that in earlier blogs. I ain't got time to look for it. If I, get to doing all the little particulars on this blog before it comes out, then I might reference it in this blog, but I don't feel like it right now. If one of you hip hop heads want to go back, one of you internet heads want to go back and find it, you'll see a thumbnail or something with Norbs on it, or URL or whatever, what have you. But like I said, this case continues on forward. I didn't see a second round knockout. You know what I'm saying? I did see a body blow. URL got a body blow in, goddamn it. You know what I'm saying? And they got a couple good jabs with the, calling Norbs a talent scout and saying that he had lost that, because technically they're right. He did lose it. But if y'all paid attention, like I said, the judge said a long time ago that there was going to be a broad discovery. And if anything is found in discovery that refers to partnership, then it can be brought back up. So even though Norbs' lawyers went and took it to a higher court, the lower court could bring it back up if it comes into play, because they're the one actually that are still trying the case if it goes to jury trial. Like I said, a bigger thing of record is the summary judgment that could take place. Let me see. Do I feel like looking at the let's see. It might be on the amended complaint. 1 second. The bigger issue is the summary judgment. Because the judge could take what evidence that he has in discovery and rule on the causes of action that either Norbs' lawyers bring forth or your URL lawyer. And in that summary judgment, basically you're saying, Judge, we're going to allow you to rule on it, and whatever you rule, we're going to go with. So that's what we're looking forward to next. Like I said, don't get fooled by misinformation. Like when the information comes out, most people are just going to be like, ooh, they're going to read a title and they're going to run with it. They're not actually going to try to reference the information to see if any of it makes sense, to see if it's actually true, to see if it's partially true. Like I said, to see if what's being said is actual news. And that's why you have like battle rap media, not necessarily battle rap journalists. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if there's any of us that went to school for journalism, even though some of us, a couple of us, try to keep it objective and right down the line. You know what I mean? Shout out to those, you know what I'm saying, who reported on it, who kind of got it, you know, mixed up based on somebody else's interpretation of it. You know what I mean? But shout out to them because that shit's entertaining sometimes. But like I said, there's an RB event going down October 14th, 15th. That's going to be this weekend. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. You know what I mean? Shout out to Wing, Lawrence, the whole RBE staff. You know what I mean? Shout out Pretty Money, Smoking NY, Wade Berg Slim, all my dogs. You know what I'm saying? If y'all got some questions, let me check out these comments right quick. Let me see what's in this damn thing. Of course, my boy Wade Berg Slim. Like I said, bro, I think you still got my math, bro. Send me your new number because I think your number changed unless you wasn't trying to holler at your boy no more. Let's see here. Like I said, shout out Mailman. Shout out Dave on Waving Bays podcast, man. I hope you and Smoke clear that up, bro. I always know you was like Switzerland, Dave, so I ain't sweating it, bro. I ain't sweating it. Let me see. I probably want to see. Hold on. Let's do it this way. Shout out Brills. What's good with you, bro? Viciously Famous. Dave from Waving Blade Block Podcast. Johnny Livingston, what's good with you? What's good with you? Please make sure y'all follow me. Rain, I'm try not to forget, bro. I'm gonna do that for you, bro. Holla at your boy. King, what's good with you, bro? Shout out Exclusive Battle League. You know what I mean? You know, they got the #1 audio battle league in this damn thing. Like before there was a Spaces, there was an Exclusive Battle League. They was doing this way before 2020, way before the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like, them are some of the first dudes I got down with this internet shit though. So shout out to them. Freddie Luger, what's good with you, boy? Lala Papa, court of law or in the court of public opinion. Yeah, it seems to me, Lala, that URL sometimes gets concerned about the court of public opinion. But what would matter to me is in the court of law and on a truly, you know, from the outside looking in, to me, I feel like URL owes Norb some money. I'm not sure what that number is. You know what I mean? But I also feel like that when it comes to lawyers, especially in the case of lawyers that you have to pay, they'll do whatever you ask them to, even if they feel like it's going to lose or fail, because they're going to take your money. And everybody can look at this 3 years later and say, probably if URL had gave Norbs, you know, a couple of 100,000 or whatever the number might have been, they could have come to an amicable settlement, sign an NDA. No, everybody's none the better. You know what I'm saying? And they go on their separate ways, separate ways. But now at this point, Norbs is never going to settle for a number that you could have bought him out at first. And you paid these lawyers, you know, somebody speculated that they paid over $1 million for this counsel because, you know, Prior Cashman is the counsel for celebrities. You know what I mean? Eminem, you know, included. So they spent money on big time lawyers, and these lawyers are not working pro bono. You know what I mean? URL is having to come out of pocket to pay these guys. So even when they put something on Prior Cashman letterhead, that cost them some bread. No, they don't do none of it. It's by time. It takes me an hour to drop this court document. We charge $785 an hour or $5,000 an hour or whatever the fuck it is that they charge. They charging it, and they're not gonna tell you, hey, you might should have just settled out with this a long time ago because you're gonna end up paying us more than you would have ever paid him if you'd have just paid him at the beginning. But that's my 2 cents. What do I know? Oh, let's see who else is in there. What's good with you, Show Off, man? Salute Show Off. Show Off got three battles in 30 days. I didn't seen this Negro battle 2 niggas in one night and give 6 amazing rounds, no chokes, no stumbles. Salute to you, bro. Y'all make sure y'all check out Show Off. And the last battle in the Blue Room. That shit was fire. Him and Chef Trez did they fucking Thug Thizzle. And check out his page, fightyourdemons.org. Get you some of that merch. You know what I'm saying? Get you a pulverized shirt. I know y'all like to try to Jones on my boy for the pulverized line, but he made bread off you niggas. He made bread. And speaking of bread, is URL gonna settle that, pay that man some money? And you know, 15 million, that's just the That's the number, right? You know, it's kind of like car sales. Norbs goes in there and says 15 million. URL says, fuck you, we give you 50,000. And Norbs says, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? 15 million. And they say 40,000. And then Norbs says, fuck you, 14 million. You know what I'm saying? And they try to work and get something in the middle. You know what I mean? And who knows how much money they even have? Nobody knows. These records are not official. We do know that there was $113 million worth of money invested in caffeine based on the contributions of URL. We do know that. We don't know how much of that money was earmarked for battle rap or for URL, but we were able to witness just by the people that they were putting on with no crowd, so there was no door money. You know what I mean? The high end camera work and all that stuff costs money. So caffeine was definitely spending it on them, and they were the major thing on that channel. So I would suppose that, you know, I can't even say how much was allotted, but it was a lot of money. You know what I mean? And I would think that URL would not want that amount to come out. You know what I mean? Because, you know, like I heard Vala said, it is a business, right? And there's no business where the employees make more than the owners, right? But there is a thing as a fair wage, right? Especially when it comes to talent. You know what I mean? Even in NFL or well, not baseball, but NFL and hockey, you've got salary caps just so the players are entitled to a certain percentage of the money that they make from the owners, because the game is based on the players' talent, right? And everything is marketed off of the players. You know what I mean? And like I've always said, I'm a fan of battle rappers and battle rap, and not necessarily a particular league almost. Um, but you know, I watch all things, even URL. I spent money with URL, and you know, the hope is that something would become between the two parties that would be amicable to both. You know what I mean? To where, as I heard Chris Unbiased say, that you know URL will continue and Norbs can go on, and he feels like he was fairly compensated for all the work that he put in there, because it's obvious to all of us, to anybody that was in the culture, you know, going all the way back to 2009, that Norbs contributed a lot. You know what I mean? Because they call him a talent scout, but something was brought to my attention the other day. In 2009, when Norbs hooked up with Smack, Chico, and Beasley, or what have you, there was no talent scout. URL wasn't scouting talent. It wasn't until 2011 when they came up with the PG system, or Norbs came up with the PG system. So for the first 2 years, what was he doing? Scout wouldn't be the word. But that's just me, in my opinion. These are things that I think about. You know what I mean? It's kind of like things I think about with the Remy Ma and all that shit. I think about, why is there no public denial of any of this stuff? Why isn't everybody just said, I categorically deny, you know, they like say that, I categorically deny that I've ever had a relationship with Easy and that he's Papoose knocked him out. Like, there's none of that. So I tend to look at the things that are not said and not what is said. You know what I mean? So when I'm watching what is said, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, Noriel is saying that there's no settlement, and that's true, but there is a mandatory conference where the judge would like them in good faith to actually try to settle the case. You know what I mean? As he said, way back in one of the first documents of this court case. I think it was upon hearing one of the first motions for this case. But what wasn't said, that yeah, on that particular set of paperwork that you released to the public, that there was no number. But y'all do know that the number that Norbs is looking for to settle out of this case, if y'all first go in there and go in that room, is $15 million. Now, whether that's what anybody settles, whether that's what Norbs settles for, or whether whether y'all want to pay a settlement, whether y'all want to go to trial, that's up to y'all two parties. But let's not act like that the case is over just because y'all won an appeal or some of the causes were thrown out. You know what I mean? Because that happens all the time in court cases, especially when they're trying to prosecute our black ass. They'll throw 15 cases on you in hopes that 2 of them will stick. You know what I mean? So in the same thing, lawyers operate the same way. We're going to throw everything that we can at URL, and we're going to see what sticks. You know what I mean? And in this case, they felt like the 15 or 16 causes of actions that they had would stick. The court said, you know, like I said, they're going against prior castmen, so celebrity lawyers. You know what I mean? So this is a heavyweight fight, but there hasn't been a knockout yet. Like I said, there's been a body blow. You know what? I even say URL got it. Y'all remember when Mayweather when Shane Mosley rocked him in the second round, you know what I'm saying, and wobbled his leg. I was, oh God, he caught his ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I will say that URL rocked him when they went to the, when the court went to appeals on the matters that had to do with partnership. But if the objective of the case is to get partnership, I don't think that was ever the objective. The objective was for Norbs to get money, right? So here are the ways and here are the causes of action that will best get Norbs the money that he deserves for the work that he did, right? So, like I said, everything else comes out in the wash. The courts gets to decide who's right, who's wrong, and usually it lies somewhere in the middle. Was Norbs a partner? Norbs says he was. URL says he doesn't. The judge looks at all the discovery, all of the records. You know what I mean? And if you know, like I know, like even though I know public record, I know it ain't public record too. I know it ain't public record too. When they supposed to be suing Norbs for bootlegging? When they suing Norbs for bootlegging? What happened? I think I got the URL for that one. I'm gonna have to look that up, see how that case is going. I might have to see how that case is going. But if y'all got to knock out in that, if y'all got to knock out or y'all got to knock down, we're gonna call it a knockdown. If y'all got a knockdown, what did Norbs get? Okay. We're gonna see though. It's gonna be interesting as hell. It's gonna be interesting. But like I said, shout out to everybody that tuned in. You know what I'm saying? I had to get my little, I got some new surroundings now, you know what I'm saying? So I had to get comfortable a little bit, you know what I mean? And I got like borderline OCD, so everything it's got to feel right, you know what I mean? But then when I looked at the update on the website today and I was like, damn, these Negroes rebutted already? Like, they just October 9th, and it's the 10th. It's the 10th. Man, y'all make sure y'all go to show off, like I said, fightyourdemon.org, the collections. Yeah, Lala Papa, 113. See, this is what y'all don't understand. I know you're saying what? Norbs is going to lose it all by trying to win this case on Norbs ain't said shit. Norbs ain't even been blogging really in the last week or so. DNA Tooth says something because probably the same website or public knowledge place that you can go get the records is the same way that I get them. So he puts his spin on them, but that started the narrative. And then somebody else's tweet about his blog is what started this. Norbs didn't come out and say, hey, they finna try to give me fit. Norbs ain't said shit. Norbs ain't said nothing at all. Make sure y'all follow my man Show Off. I'm on the Pinot Noir tonight show off. Pinot Noir and CBD. Norbs rock URL like Mosley URL. Mayweather hit his ass with them body shots. Yeah, you can feel that way, Lollipapa, but you're always a contrarian. It don't matter what I'm talking about. Lala is always even in the Discord, you was always contrarian, Lala. That's cool though. That's cool, Lala. But I'm telling you, the reason why it's not a knockout, Norbs was never supposed to be here, remember? Norbs was never supposed to be here still fighting against the mighty URL. Right. What is known that if these people, I almost call it something else, but if these people do not decide on a settlement, they will be going to jury trial. That's known. That's a win for Norbs because then he gets to plead his case in front of jurors who get to look at Norbs and look at URL and look at the evidence and the discovery and decide what happened and who should get what. And like I said, if it turns out that the partners of URL went behind Norbs' back and made a company after they had already agreed to be partners, and that comes out in discovery somehow, we talk about a whole different case altogether. And I'm telling you, In all of these documents, there's only maybe one of them that has anything that's redacted on it, right? And it might have something to do with the competitive nature of URL and RBE or what have you. Like even that case, even the RBE case, they don't say it, but because I'm sitting in the background watching it, I see how that's intertwined in this, right? They try to keep certain things out of discovery based on that they were in litigation with another lawsuit. What was that other lawsuit? The tortious interference lawsuit against RBE. The case that when they went to when they went to do the deposition, they didn't even have to because y'all know ARP got receipts like come on, man. Y'all know if anybody tortuously interfered with anyone, it's been URL. It's in the public. That's public record. Hollow. You can't backtrack on it now. And they made you look bad, Hollow. God damn, bro. You can wrap your ass off, but you make the worst life decisions, bro. I'm like Chris, I'm biased like that. You let URL do you dirty. And then ARP was like, say, I'm gonna tell them what you said because you're not gonna have me look crazy. Mm-mm. You're gonna wear this, little bro. Hey man, y'all supposed to let the Lord use you, not no company. Mm-mm. Not no company. Y'all gotta look out for yourself. Ain't they looking out for them? I got no dog in the fight. I just want to see people get their just due. Like I said, battle rapping is a hard sport. You know what I mean? Any type of writing is hard. You know what I mean? To where you're trying to entertain an audience of people by just your sheer lyrical ability and believability or what have you. Um, to have that go to waste or to have that being usurped by folks who don't want to pay you accordingly to your talent or what they make off your talent, that's a disservice to the artist, right? All that loyalty, friendship, fuck all that. Because at the end of the day, loyalty don't pay for bills and friends don't pay bills. Now I'm a Virgo, I'm loyal to a fault, right? But I'm loyal to the fault that you're loyal to me as well. Because if I see you're not loyal to me, I can't be loyal to you. I look like a sucker. Now think about what we're talking about, and shout out to them. Think about all the people who pulled off of that trenches card. What they doing now? Excuse me. What they doing now? The URL made them look crazy. They didn't even get on Summer Madness. You know what I mean? Ain't no card that big until next year. I'm like, come on, man. Like, how you know they paid you 26,000? You said it. Then you went back and reniggered or what you said. You're talking about y'all. Yeah, I hate a renigger. You're talking about oh shit. You know what I'm talking about? Be playing no goddamn hearts before you play spades. And I know some of you motherfuckers feel like y'all can cut right off the goddamn door. That ain't how you play fucking spades. Talk to your mama about it. But he reneged on it. You know what I mean? We know there was certain things that happened with O-Red, JC, Averb. You know, the list goes on and on. The stuff that happened to guerrilla warfare, the stuff that happened with KOTD. Like, and they always talk about their talent, and people just seem to fail to realize that the beginning of their talent came from the Lions Den and Fight Club. How we be missing that? How we be missing that? Because y'all don't care. Y'all don't care. As long as they say it is true. And I don't get down like that. I've never gotten down like that. I don't care whether it was the Adi Boom situation, the Math Hopper situation, the I ain't even gonna say that other little ugly ass nigga name, but that situation either. I'm gonna objectively weigh everything and then come up with my conclusion based on the things that are evident there to me. Logical stuff, because y'all be on some different shit. Y'all don't even be making no fucking sense. Y'all don't even be making no fucking sense. Shout out to Caution in the building. I'm telling you, y'all gonna want to check out that Caution versus Cav Labs battle. He leveled up, he did his thug thing, but I'm telling y'all, Caution is on like a motherfucking mission. She's on a mission to fuck somebody up. You know what I mean? Because she doesn't like people even, just kind of even say that she lost her edge or that she didn't do good on the last battle. What I'm telling you, Caution is out for blood. Cav 2-1. Caution is out for blood. You know what I'm saying? And I'm caution. I'm just caution. I know you're saying hold it the fuck down right now. I know what you're saying. But caution. I's a man. Whether I thought you was gonna kick Cavs ass or not, it's an intergender battle. And I's going for the men. I'm going for the men. Sniper 2-1. Raw. I'm going for the men. Will Major 2-1. Peaches. I'm giving y'all a round. I'm giving y'all. I'm not saying like Will Major, Sniper, and Cav gonna beat shit down your leg. That ain't what I said. I just said they was gonna win 2-1. That means y'all can have a hell of a that one round y'all win. That could be a hell of a round. You know what I'm saying? It could be a hell of a round. But that remains to be seen. October 14th, 15, rapgrid.com. Y'all go buy that VOD. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you heard me say go buy the VOD, don't put now one of these damn battle rappers on there. Put EJ sent me to go buy the $20 VOD. Tag Wing on Instagram. And if I, oh my God, if I sell more than some of y'all that's on the car, I'm telling you, I'm talking my shit. But how I sell more tickets than you did to your own shit, I'm going to talk my shit. But I got faith in y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like on the cool though, and taking the bricks is out selling some of the veterans shit. No, don't get it twisted. No, Blue Roof shit, no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But they VOD is doing this goddamn business. I'm not gonna mention what Card is doing better than, but what's good, Darren? Oh, for sure. I'm not at all. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it 100. I got the whole list, and I don't just go off what anybody says. You know what I mean? Like to keep it 100. To keep it 100. Well, I ain't even gonna say that. But like I said, I'm gonna look at it and tell. And even when I talk to certain parties, I tell them what I think about it. You know what I mean? Whether I feel like whatever happened was a good move, was a shrewd move. Because like I said, I'm sitting here watching it. This is a heavyweight fight that Norbes was an underdog in from the beginning. That he wasn't even, supposed to get a red nickel. Shout out to 15 Minutes of Fame and Restore Order podcast. But I remember when y'all broke down the paperwork and y'all was like, Norbes ain't getting shit. Norbes is at the edge of a jury trial, bro. And at the very beginning of the case, the judge told them before COVID, hey man, the way all this is intertangled up together, y'all need to get with a mediator and come up with a number so y'all can end this. Quit wasting my time so I can go into retirement. I can go fish or fly fishing or whatever judges do once they done got through fucking people over and give them a bunch of time they deserve. I'm just saying, the man is ready to retire and y'all keeping this shit up. We could have been done with this. We could have moved on. Like somebody else could even have like it's a bunch of other stuff to be focused in on. You know what I'm saying? I know hindsight is 2020, but like I said before, man, if y'all just gave Norbs a little chunk of change back then, it would have been way less than what you done paid prior Cashman. Are your lawyers telling you that? I know they letting you file these petty ass documents on their letterhead, but are they telling you that, bros? That for every ounce of time, every minute of time that you spend on that case, you spending money with them. And you could have gave it to Norbs, had him sign an NDA, and it been over. You could have told everybody whatever narrative you wanted to at that point. Because Norbs wouldn't give a fuck once he got some money. He don't give a fuck. Y'all can tell him y'all won. Norbs gonna be on the beach in a Speedo. Oh, god damn. I'm sorry. I know I said it. Oh, goddamn. But you know he is sipping like a Bahama mama and shit, watching his kids play. Like, yeah, they won. Appreciate y'all. Darian says, what's the most likely scenario? Norbs get paid or URL members get aired out and all hell breaks loose? Here's the issue. In New York, in a limited liability partnership, which is what they have, the responsibility is shared between the parties that are in this limited liability partnership. And Norbs has named them all. In New York, your personal property can come into play if you don't have the money to pay. And since there's 3 or 4 parties in this, if there is a settlement, they're gonna have to come up with that money between them. Right? That means this say the number's 8 million, right? Hell, say the number's 2 million. But say between all three of them of the parties, they don't have the $2 million to pay Norbs. Well, then these gentlemen' personal property comes into play. Their houses, yeah, in New York, that's how they get down. Now, in Texas, you can get a judgment against you, and your homestead residence and one of your cars is not subject to the judgment, right? But if you got multiple cars, they'll sell off your other cars. If you got multiple houses, they'll sell off your other houses in order to pay that judgment. So you may have a case of where you have three guys who don't want to pay, right? And because they don't want to pay, they're willing to go all the way to trial with it in the hopes that they have to pay nothing. That's what you have, right? And then now you have Norbs who's come all the way here, and if they try to come to a settlement number, it's not going to be $1 million or nothing like that. I'm telling you, because now that the discovery is out, or excuse me, that the discovery has taken place, and Norbs's lawyers know how much money URL made, they're not going to settle for that. They have to get their time back. They got to get their money back too. You think they did all this for $300,000? I bet you they didn't. I bet you they didn't. No, sir. I bet you they didn't do it all for $300,000. So they want to make as much money on this as possible too, because they only get paid if Norbs gets paid. They only get paid if Norbs gets paid. So now, but like I said in an earlier blog, in the state of New York, if a party of gentlemen are entered into a business together, and say there's four people, three out of the four people defraud the fourth person out of the business, if the court rules in the fourth person's favor, that person becomes the only person in the business of legal standing that can do anything with the business at that point. And the judge rules that the business would be wound up, which is basically and dissolved, which basically means that the company gets sold off for a certain number, and the judge decide who gets what percentage. This is why you look at the thumbnail. I got the same picture of Norbs that's on this thumbnails sitting, and I'm saying, can Norbs win it all? Yeah, he can. Yeah, he can. If they're stubborn enough that they go to trial and lose, the court will have ruled that they did their partner wrong or not in legal withstanding to even operate the company. That makes Norbs now the operator of the company that has to be wound up and dissolved. And since it has to be wound up and dissolved, Norbs gets to decide what the number is that he's going to sell the company for, and the judge decides on the percentages that go to who. So he may say 25% to everybody. He may say, Norbs, you only get 10%, and the rest of you partners split up the rest of the 90%. But Norbs gets to make the decision on the number that he sells the company for. That's New York business law. That was the first blog I did, wound up and dissolved, and what it meant. That was the first fucking blog I did over this case. So then you have, if the records come out, and I'm going to tell you what I know, but what I don't know. I'm going to tell you what I know, but what I don't know. If the records come out about how much URL was paid and how much money that they paid, I don't think that they're going to have as many positive natured artists. That's what I'll say about that. So to me, it would be in their favor to settle, but you should have did that a long time ago, because now you've paid for, what is this? Hold on. What is this? Okay, I'm sorry. There are now 245 court entries in this case. 4 pages. 4 pages. And it's about to go to a 5th if it goes to trial. It's about to go to a 5th if it goes to trial. That's a lot of time. 3 years worth of legal fees that you could have just paid the man probably a tenth of that. But sometimes egos get in the way. Let's see what. Let's see. Let me see here. Do-do-do-do-do. If it goes to jury, we probably got another 2 or 3 years before this case in the jail. No, 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 no. Once that shit starts going, that shit's gonna start going. Once it goes to jury trial, they have a trial in like 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? There's only so much shit to say. There's only so much to say. Let's see. Let me see. Here we go, Dave. That's what I'm saying, Dave. They most definitely did. They most definitely did. And you can see how the caffeine ain't running like it was before, bro. Like they ain't spending big money like that. If they still have a contract with caffeine, how would that come into play as far as dissolving the company? It comes into play because, like I said, if you have 3 out of the 4 partners are found in bad legal standing and leaving the one partner in good legal standing, the judge then says basically y'all can't come to any type of there's definitely not a possibility of y'all being partners again, right? So since there isn't a possibility of being partners again, the one person who isn't defrauding the others, right, is the one who gets to make the decision on how much the company is sold for. The judge then decides what percentage that he was going to award who what. So like I said in the beginning, he might award them 80% of the company and Norbs 20%. But Norbs is the only one in good legal standing in order to decide on what that is as far as the number. He may decide based on everything to sell that to URL because it can be that. So y'all can look up the laws on dissolved and wound up companies in New York Supreme Court law. Y'all can call me a lie if I'm wrong. What's good with you, cuz? Yeah, Lo, it's been interesting from the beginning because I've been watching it since that first 40-page document came out with all of the listings of all the people that Norbs had brought into the URL. You know what I mean? And even, I forgot to tell y'all this, that Norbs' lawyers is so nice that they said, okay, court and URL, if Norbs was a talent scout and never a partner, here's a list of all the services that he did for the past 10 years and what those services cost. Give us that number. Ooh, wait. How much did you pay? How much did you pay somebody for all that work? And like I said from the beginning, if Norbs is your employee, where's your 1099 for the contract work? Where's your receipts for any payments that you made to him if he was a contractor? You see what has to come into play if they go to court? Where the 1099 on all the battles you paid money to? Did you cash out them? Did you cash? Where'd you get that money from? Because I guarantee you, Harry did his taxes. I guarantee you, Harry did his taxes. But y'all know anything over $9,999 is not a gift. You have to declare that as income. So if you're a battle rapper and you got paid $40,000 by URL and you didn't file that on your taxes, and now this goes to court, now Uncle Sam knows how much money they paid you. Y'all think I'm bullshitting? Okay. And you don't think they all in the same circle? Don't lawyers hang around with lawyers? Hey, bro, I'm sitting over here working this case with yada, 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 and such going on. And they ain't got no receipts or nothing. A word? No receipts. And you know, with the way receipts, so you got to have all these motherfuckers when it comes to fucking with. They want everything. They want everything. Where did this go? Where did this dollar go? Who got paid this? Who got paid what? Pride comes before the fall. Well, I'm not even gonna say that. Like URL don't have to fall. It ain't necessarily a falling. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like URL is still the biggest rap league. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, the type of battle rap that we like over here in the States. You know what I'm saying? In the United States of America, there might be a big one over there. I don't really care about it. But they could come out of this. You know, they could settle. They could go to court. They could win. You know what I mean? I don't know what the judge is going to decide. I'm just going to tell you though, that law is based on precedents. And the precedent in this one is that even if you were paying the man, if he helped you to get rich, you owe him money. That's the precedent in law. That's the precedent that this very judge set over. Like, if you ain't doing nothing, ain't got nothing to do, Google the Blue Man Group settlement. You're going to see a familiar name on that. You're going to see Barry Ostrager. He's the same fucking judge that was presiding over that case that said, nope, y'all owe this little man here who was building all y'all sets, who was arranging all of y'all shows. Y'all owe him bread. Y'all owe him super bread. And if y'all don't pay him, we're going to trial and you're not going to like what I say. So what happened? They settled out of court for a 7-figure amount. Now, that 7-figure amount is said to be, I believe, in the range of, it's been a minute since I read up on a court case, because how they got to the settlement amount is the company, the Blue Man Group, was insured, and they had to go to their insurance company and ask them, I believe it was for $36 million. I believe it was $36 million. Because those dudes, you know, they was on Intel commercials, the little computer commercials back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Man, shout out to you, Dave. I appreciate you, bro. I hope nobody gets mad because you gave me $2 and shit. He keeping it Switzerland, y'all. Don't fuck with Dave. He keeping it Switzerland. He keeping it Switzerland. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you have fucking Dave gave me $2, made me lose my thought. But you know, URL has the ability to still get out of this and still have a company. Like that's not an issue at all. It's whether they want to, it's whether even as between themselves, whether they're going to decide what they want to do going forward. Like it's a different decision. When you're a sole proprietorship, you can just say what you want to do personally. But when you have partners, y'all have to decide on a collective on going forward. There was even a little issue between them. Don't say you heard it here. I don't need to say my name in no goddamn trailer. I don't need to release no goddamn statement. But I'm just gonna say, folks are upset when, you know what I'm saying, they personal shit came into play. When the court said, no, not just the business. Your bread too, sir. You included in here too. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of here before I have as many viewers as Dave. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, shout out everybody involved. You know what I mean? Shout out to my peoples, Wing Truth, RBE, Wave Gang, Pretty Money, Smoker NY, Just Call Me Monty, King EBL. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to V Conley, been holding me down this whole joint. I appreciate you, real shit. Shout out to Dave and the $2. I know now you're not gonna buy, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be $2 short if you try to buy a Dr. Pepper tomorrow and shit, but I appreciate you, bro. Shout out Theory Truth, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go check out my guy, you know what I'm saying? The low got work out there, you know what I'm saying? Kill Switch Battle League in the motherfucking business. Big ups to Lala in the motherfucking building, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere probably aggravating the shit out of somebody, but it's just fucking Lala, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, what's that dude name I used to? Oh, EJ, always. EJ, always. EJ, always. EJ, always. EJ, always. EJ, always. Always. Representing that wave gang. EJ, always. EJ, always. EJ, always. EJ, always. You are now rocking with DJ Ladybug. On the ones and twos, and just call me Monty on everything. Y'all know what it is.